entertainment biz? The NAACP Hollywood Bureau is proud to present Be in the Biz, a one-day symposium sharing valuable information and access to the entertainment industry's top power brokers. Writers, directors, producers, and storytellers will learn about collaboration between creatives and media executives and more. Be in the Biz is coming to Philly Saturday, June 29th at 36 in Chestnut. For more info and to register, visit naacp.org and search Be in the Biz, and that's biz spelled B-I-Z.
I always had to be so good, no one could ignore me. Carve my path with data and drive. But some people only see who I am on paper. The paper ceiling, the limitations from degree screens to stereotypes that are holding back over 70 million stars. Workers skilled through alternative routes rather than a bachelor's degree. It's time for skills to speak for themselves. Find resources for breaking through barriers at tearthepaperceiling.org. Brought to you by Opportunity at Work and the Ad Council.
In honor of Black Music Month, this is Trans Afro Express, a celebration of African, Caribbean, and African American music.
We've got to get the individualism again so we can get the music back. Everybody sounding alike. And that's terrible what's happening in the music business today. There's no variation of people now.
This is James Brown, a Barnwell, South Carolina born, Augusta, Georgia raised singer, band leader, godfather of soul, and master of funk, whose choreography was as electrifying as his music. While James Brown's roots were in gospel and blues, the functification of his sound influenced artists from around the world, including Fela Kuti, Mick Jagger, and Michael Jackson. His influence on hip-hop is unmatched. He remains one of the genre's most sampled artists. This Black Music Month, we celebrate the artists of the diaspora who influenced the world. This Black Music Month vignette was brought to you by PICO, the Pennsylvania Lottery, Comcast, Keystone First, and Ensemble Arts. For more information on the Trans Afro Express, join us for our live event on June 14th at World Cafe Live. After June 14th, check out the panel discussion on soundcloud.com/on WURD. We are the home of progressive Black Talk Media. This is WURD 900 AM and 96.1 FM, Philadelphia. Streaming online on wordradio.com and the Word Radio app. The views and opinions expressed by the guests, listeners, and hosts of any program on Word Radio do not necessarily reflect those of the ownership, management, or advertisers of this station.
I'm simply saying that life finds a way.
All right, people, write something on the board. Let's spell it. First letter.
L O G.
What's that? What?
It's time. It's time to have real, honest, open, difficult, and inspiring conversations. It's time for Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
Well, hey there, family. Hello, and welcome. Welcome to Love and Life with CarolRiddick right here on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media, on air and online at wordradio.com. Welcome to Thursday, June 20th. It is the end of the Love and Life week. No, no, I don't like it. I don't like it. How are you making out? That's what I want to know. How was your week? Okay, I've got a few questions. You know that I do. How did the week go so far? How are you making out with this heat? This heat. Listen, it is hot. I had no problem getting Chloe to come back in the house today. For those of you who are unfamiliar, she is my fur child. She beat me back to the door. Okay. She said, I've had enough. I've had enough. In any event, I hope that you are all staying cool and hydrated. Yes, I do. You know, I want to know what you've got planned for the weekend. I always ask, don't I? Anything exciting? Tell me, tell me. So, family, as you know, Thursday is typically Dr. Z's day. We usually have Thursdays with Dr. Z, but she won't be joining us today. But you know, she sends all the love she can muster. You know she is. You know she is. Okay, listen. Y'all know I'm already on 10. Always. I've got a feel good story of the day that I want to share. Yes, yes, yes. So, as the story reads, there was a 105-year-old Stanford graduate who finally got her diploma after 80 plus years of waiting. The article reads, on Sunday morning, commencement exercises for Stanford University's Graduate School of Education started late. The school's undergraduate ceremony ran behind schedule, so the smaller ceremonies for graduate students ended up being pushed back half an hour. It was a minor inconvenience for most of the 160 students getting their master's degrees and doctorates in education. For one student, though, it was downright inconsequential. It reads, Virginia Hyslop had waited 83 years for this day. So what were another 30 minutes? You know, what another 30 minutes? I thought that was just too cute. I'm so happy for her. Congratulations to her. And I love to celebrate. Family, it's time for our Black History 365 moment. Today's Black History 365 moment is about Samuel L. Jackson. So, at the age of 19, actor Samuel L. Jackson attended Martin Luther King Jr.'s funeral in Atlanta as an usher. Yes, he did. Jackson was a sophomore at Morehouse College in Atlanta when Dr. King was assassinated on April 4th, 1968, in Memphis, Tennessee. 4 days later, he participated in a march in Memphis to continue King's work, supporting a garbage workers' strike. He soon jumped into campus politics, eventually joining a spring 1969 protest in which he and others held Morehouse trustees hostage. Yes, y'all. That got him expelled for 2 years. That sounds like the Samuel L. Jackson that we know and love, right? Doesn't it? It just sounds like him. I mean, why change? Family, let us know if you are joining us. You know what to do. And if you don't, I'm about to tell you, you know I am. Give us a call at 215-634-8065 or toll free at 1-866-361-0900. That's right. I want to wish a happy birthday to all of our love lights who are celebrating. Yes, I do. Happy birthday to you. Ooh. And I'm sending extra love and hugs to each and every one of you whose light is shining even the slightest bit dimly. You hear me? Just on behalf of your entire tribe and village right here at Love and Life and Word Radio, we want you to know that you are not alone. You are so not alone. We are right here. Okay. Okay. All right. Let's get started, family. One of our love lights has come back to visit with us and to share some good stuff with us. We always love it when she comes. She hasn't come enough. You know who I'm talking about. I know you do already. Her name is Stephanie Renee. And for those who are unfamiliar, she is the founder and manager of the Soul Sanctuary Congregation. Yes, that's right, which is a Philadelphia-based nonprofit arts education foundation established in 2002 to preserve and uplift positive urban culture. I just like the way that reads. I just love it. Before I bring Stephanie into the room, I do want to acknowledge our family members. I see you commenting. Nasir. Hey there. He shares peace and blessings with everybody. You know we love that. You know I love it. Sending them right back to you. Malcolm shares he's watching and listening from West Mount Airy, as always. That's my message. I look for it every day. He shares he hopes everyone is staying cool. It's like the devil's basement outside. Heavens to Murgatroyd. I've got to put that in my pocket. The Devil's Basement. Shut up, but keep talking. I love it. I love that, Malcolm. And Eric shares, hey, everybody, sending laughs and love from Northeast Philly, watching Love and Life on YouTube and commenting on Facebook. You know, I love it. Hi there, and Kruma. He shares, good evening, everyone. Happy Juneteenth to you all. That's right, because you know we're still celebrating, right? Juneteenth is an everyday celebration, okay? That's an everlasting celebration. So that's right. That's right. Harry shares that he's checking in. Harry, you know I made a note. You said your birthday was on the 24th. I meant to tell you that. You said last night. I wrote it down. Don't you think I forgot? Don't you think I wasn't paying attention? I've got you. And Malcolm shares that was a gangster move by Samuel L. Jackson at Morehouse. Yes, it was. But I mean, I don't know that we would expect anything different from him, right? I don't know that we would. Nina Washington, hi, boo, is checking in. And Darren, Tom, Smitty, that is, Mr. and Mrs. Smitty are checking in. Harry shares, I love Stephanie Renee. I used to listen to her every day at 11 a.m. I know, right? I know. Let me get her into the room so she can at least talk to y'all and y'all can talk back. Hey there, boo. How are you?
I am very good, thank you, and glad to be with you as always, Carol.
Well, you see, the family's excited that you're here. We've got so much to talk about because I know you've got a lot to share.
Yes.
That's good stuff. That's good stuff. That's good.
It is.
Ooh, so all has been well with you?
All has been wonderful. It's been very busy and hectic, but there's a lot to share with the on-air family this evening, things that I hope that they will check out, listen to, respond to, and just, vibe with.
I love it. I love it. Now, I just realized we don't have you visiting with us for the full hour. We don't have you with us that much time. So I'm going to be quiet just for a moment, just for a moment. And I would love for you to share with us what is taking place, what's going on.
Well, there are a lot of things. The first thing, because I know that word listeners are always intellectuals. They love getting information and reinforcing our history, our legacy in particular. So one of the projects that I had the pleasure of working on is a series of Black Music Month vignettes that feature Black women that made strides in the 20th century. And I did that in conjunction with an organization called Unerased Black Women Speak. And so those vignettes, there are 8 total. They've released 6 of them so far. So they've been doing 2 a week. So there are 2 more that will come out next week. But thus far, we have vignettes on Mahalia Jackson, on Ma Rainey, on Rihanna, on Missy Elliott, on Nina Simone, and who am I forgetting? Forgetting one more, but you get the idea that we are not just stuck in the contemporary artists that we think we know. We're also making sure that we continue uplifting. Leontine Price is the other one that I was forgetting.
Ooh. I mean, all of them, though, exceptional. Exceptional choices. Like, wow.
So I had the pleasure of writing them and voicing them. And then a wonderful team did the visuals that go behind them. But it just gives us a moment, just a little over 2 minutes each, to remember the contributions of these outstanding Black women. And so, I was very, very proud to be a part of that project.
That sounds exceptional. That really does. And thank you for sharing about, what is it, Unerased Black Women
Speak. Yes. So for those of you who are checking us out on Facebook right now, they have a Facebook page where you can get all of those vignettes that I mentioned, but they're also doing still images of still more Black women during Black Music Month that we need to know. So Donna Summer is an example. I mean, they're just all different kinds of wonderful women artists.
I just saw the documentary about Donna Summer. I was totally unaware, had no idea. I did not have much information about her life. Very, very good. Very, very good. I want to make sure I'm sharing Unerased Black Women Speak. Is that the name of their page, their Facebook page as well?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm putting that in the chat, just so that
the website, because that got a little long. So it's unerased.bws.com.
Okay. That's all right.
And then they have a landing page for for this Black Music Month project.
You know, we will look, we don't care, long or not, you know, we will search. We will go. you know we will. We don't mind the journey. We don't, especially if there's some education at the end of it.
Yes.
We don't mind. We don't mind. So that sounds so, you said they average about 2 minutes each?
Yes. Yeah, just a little over 2 minutes. So it's a quick hit. You can get edified. You can learn something. You can pause it or come back and view it again multiple times till you get all the little nuggets that we try to include in there, and just really store up that information on these exemplars, these creative women who blazed paths.
Absolutely. So the vignettes are on both their Facebook page and on the website.
The website, I think, links to the YouTube channel. So, all these different platforms, just like people are listening to you now, where you can get access to them.
I could look at Malcolm. Malcolm says he needs to see the Donna Summer documentary. Yes, you do.
Yes,
you really do. You do. And now I'm intrigued, and I'm going to go check out these vignettes because every single woman you just named is of interest to me. I can't wait. What Ma Rainey, Leontine Price, Rihanna, listen, and the list goes on.
Yes, absolutely. So
and
that was
to you.
Project. Well, thank you. I mean, I served when Unerased was doing a podcast at one point, and I served as a producer for that. But maintained a great relationship with them as they transitioned to doing other things. So now this multimedia, being able to do these short vignettes, to do live chats online with some of our scholars and other exemplars in business and in culture. This is sort of the new direction that the organization is doing, and it's always keeping us focused on empowering the Black woman vote. So in this election year, I'm sure that in the future there's going to be more content around that as well.
Yes. I just want to take a sidebar. Okay, hair is beautiful. Your hair is absolutely beautiful. Okay, family, do you see her?
Thank you.
The hair is beautiful. What?
Well, listen. We have all different ways to buy looks these days, and so I've been very thankful for this. Shout out to my friend Donnie, who hooks me up. But because it is warm, these are going to be going away shortly. I know. Yes,
I live the same life. I live the same life. Okay. I just talked about melting before your very eyes. So I live the same exact life as you.
Yes.
So, all right. So we have that going on. What else do you have to share with us?
Yeah. So one of the most exciting things that just launched yesterday for Juneteenth, so it is fresh off of the production blocks, is a limited series podcast that I co-produced with Philadelphian Marvin Coleman. Other people might know him as Cool DJ Marv. But it is about the history of Buttermilk Worldwide, a cultural organization that produced and promoted amazing spoken word, comedy, and cultural events during the mid-90s. And, as our memories are short, this is the 30th anniversary of Buttermilk. They did their first big event at Unity Day, 1994, because the gentleman who founded the group met as interns at WDAS. So that rich Philadelphia history, studied under the late, great E. Stephen Collins, and worked with him during their time at DAS, and learned about the power of brotherhood and about making sure that your business is tight and that you're uplifting the culture and your people while you do it. And I came in as talent. I was one of the poets that they featured under this spoken word tent, this arts and culture tent that they did at Unity Day 1994, and then went on to co-host those poetry spoken word performance, that series. And so Marv asked me, would I come on board to help tell this story? And so that's what we did in 8 episodes. And so they're is conversation with a lot of these poets, including my good friends. I finally got her to sit still and contribute, but Jill Scott mentions Buttermilk in the liner notes of her debut album. And so now we know why she said Buttermilk, it all started with you. What did that mean? You got to listen to the podcast to find out. But there are lots of amazingly talented people who contributed to that. There are clips from some of those live performances. So if you need to hear what some of your favorite artists sounded like when they were starting out on that path, you can hear it in the podcast. Original music. I mean, it's just a wonderful reflection on something that was foundational for me in developing my creative talent, but also was this place for camaraderie and community in the creative spirit here in Philadelphia, and the story deserved to be told. So we did it.
That sounds awesome. Look at you. Heavens to Murgatroyd. Miss Julie says, Steph, Renee, you are wearing gray beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you. See, up under here, it's going that way anyway. And I was like, well, let me embrace, let's see if we go full out. Let's see how it works. And so, you'll probably be seeing more of this.
But I mean, I think gray is absolutely beautiful. I do. And you look awesome in it. You really do.
Well, I had always said that, I was not a comic book reader as a young person, but as I heard the legacy of Marvel Comics and Storm, I was like, look.
Listen, I don't know a Black woman that knows about Storm that doesn't love Storm. So, I mean, I don't. I really don't.
Right.
Oh my goodness, family. Hey there. I'm talking to you. If you have just joined us, and if you've been hanging out all along, well, hey, you are tuned in to Love and Life with Carol Riddick right here on WURD. We are talking with one of our love lights, Stephanie Renee, we've got her for an abbreviated amount of time, but because I was about to say for the hour, but we're always happy to have her come visit with us. We are going to take a commercial break, but family, stay with us because Stephanie's got more to share, and we are coming right back.
My grandma could always tell when I was into something dangerous. She used to say, mess around if you want to, you're gonna fool around and find out. She was right. And nothing good ever came from ignoring her advice. That's exactly how I feel when I hear somebody telling me to vote for Trump or just not vote at all. It wasn't that long ago that our parents and grandparents had to fight in the streets for basic civil rights. We can't forget where we've come from or how quickly things can go back if we don't stand up for our rights and the rights of the next generation. Joe Biden, he's not perfect, but the choice is clear. Our votes elected Biden, and he's shown up. Billions in loans to Black small businesses, banned police chokeholds and federal no-knock warrants, canceled $167 billion in student loan debt.
Let's get this done.
Our votes have the power to determine our future. Make it count or fool around and find out. Paid for by Black PAC, which is responsible for the content of this ad. BlackPac.com, not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee.
Word Radio Digital Tip of the Month with Stephanie Humphrey is brought to you by Comcast.
School is out and summer is here. So what are you going to do to keep your kids busy this season? Start with OutSchool. OutSchool is a comprehensive website that helps you find interactive online summer camps for kids and teens. You can find camps for kids ages 3 through 18 with all kinds of cool topics like music and art, coding and technology, or social emotional learning, and everything in between. You can choose between live video classes or a self-paced program. There are over 10,000 experienced and vetted teachers on the platform, and private tutoring is available if you need it. There are also camps for neurodiverse learners too. There is a small fee for the classes, but joining OutSchool is free, and there are classes for as low as $5 per class. If you're looking for a way to stop that summer slide, OutSchool might be the solution. Head to www.outschool.com and stay tuned to WURD for more tips, and stay connected with us at wordradio.com.
WURD is happy to provide our listeners with the opportunity to participate in contests and win prizes. This is a reminder of our contest rules. All participants must be 18 years of age or older, depending on the contest. Persons may win only one prize from the radio station per contest for every 30-day period. Some contests might also specify one winner per household or company. Prizes must be claimed within 14 days or by 12 noon the day before the event, whichever is sooner, and must be accepted as is or forfeited. The radio station employees and their immediate relatives, sponsor employees and their immediate relatives, live remote sponsor employees and their immediate relatives, and any other media employees are ineligible to win the prize. Thank you for participating and for listening to WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media. We're celebrating Black influence and Black excellence worldwide on the home of Progressive Black Talk Media, WURD.
Let me tell you something, and don't you ever forget it. Success is nothing without someone you love to share it with.
You're listening to Love and Life with CarolRiddick on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
Welcome back, family. You are tuned in to Love and Life with CarolRiddick right here on WURD. We are joined with our love light, Stephanie Renee. Yes, we are. Okay, but I couldn't wait to get it out. It was all trying to come out at the same time. So, Steph, no, because I know we're pressed for time with you. I want to make sure we share all that you came to share with us because I want the family to know.
Sure. Well, there's only one other kind of big thing. The last time that I was with you, we were talking about beginning registration for Make Music Day. And here we are. Tomorrow is the day. So I'm hoping that for those of you who are looking for places to go to get out of the heat, or if you're going to be out, be entertained while you are out and come and explore some of these beautiful places around our city where you can see culture and be invested and involved in that. And so makemusicphilly.org is where you can go to see the listings and the locations where these free live music performances are happening around our city. But particularly for those of you who live in North Philadelphia, I invite you to come out and join us at the Leon H. Sullivan Human Services Center at 1415 North Broad. We are going to be doing live performances there from 12 p.m. to 5 p.m. It is air conditioned, it's comfortable, and I bet a lot of people in the listening audience have never been in the building. So you don't even know that there is a community room that is available for small businesses and other community organizations where you can have meetings and dinners, and social gatherings, these kinds of things. That's where we're going to be tomorrow to share live music from our community.
I had no idea. See that? I had no idea. Oh, Steph, thank you. I just so love when you come to visit, and I appreciate all the good things that you are doing. I do.
Thank
I appreciate you sharing everything with us. Can you just give us a quick recap, just really quickly, because I know
Sure. So the three things were that there are Black Music Month vignettes that are produced by Unerased Black Women Speak. Check them out. 8 vignettes along with other information about exemplars. Check out their website and their Facebook page. There is a new limited series podcast called The Sounds of Buttermilk that tells a previously untold story about a group of 3 young brothers from Philadelphia who got together to uplift spoken word and served as a platform, a launching pad for so many of the personalities that you know and love, myself included. So check that out. And Make Music Day, happening at 1,200 locations globally. Here in Philadelphia, we've got several venues that are uplifting this message of free live music and family-friendly performances all around our city. MakeMusicPhilly.org.
I love it. Once again, and I love you. Thank you so much.
You know the feeling is mutual.
Thank you so much. And the family, as you know, we are loving the look. So we're all on board.
Thank you. I will let my braider know.
We look forward to seeing you when you return, and we look forward to catching you out at some of the events as well. And thank you just once again.
Thank you for having me as always.
Come back sooner than as opposed to later, please.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. All right. Thank you, Steph. We will see you.
Bye, everybody.
Oh my goodness. Oh, I do love when she comes to visit. She's such a love bug, isn't she? Isn't she? We love Stephanie Renee. Yes, we do. We're going to take a moment and go to the phone lines. We've got Ron joining us on line one. Hey there, Ron. Welcome. Welcome, 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 and thank you for calling.
Yes, hi, Carol. I wanted to speak to the lady, but that's all right. E. Stephen Collins' mother. She was in the nursing home where my mother was, and I got a chance to speak with her. And she made a recommendation that I would go around. She was on the first floor, and I'm always running my mouth. And they have there where the people came up, they bring them in the dining room and like that. And I went around there and I did some Martin Luther King for her Miss Corrine, and the Dave Richardson people. They was up there too. And the thing about it was her legs. She had a problem with her legs here. And I got a chance to meet her, and I was telling Eve before you made transition that what she made recommendation that she made to me to go around, and I'm glad that I was able to do that. But I got an assignment I would like to give you, and I want the lady, of course, the people are listening, I want them to listen. One time, it's been a couple of years now, when I got a chance to meet Carol, and she allowed me to speak with her. And when I was listening to her through the nights and all that, the first thing I said to Carol, and I was talking about this thing we call education. And I told Carol, I was speaking, she already listened. And I said to Carol, humble thyself. Speaking, kind of making reference to a particular person. Because when you do that, what you have gotten your training to humble yourself. And Carol listening. And from the time that I said that to Carol, she have done it all the way up until this point. I said to you, Carol, I would like you to go on your computer and go and download the story of Emmett Till, where his mother, when that happened to him, they was in the family and people from Chicago and people from down there. The reason I want you to do that, I mentioned it the other night. I want you to look at the elder man, his grandfather, Mr. Mose. And the reason I want your eyes to see that, and you evaluate that for yourself, what you would see standing in front of the cameras and what he was saying. And once again, it's not to insult anyone. It's the same thing that the lady called in and was talking about her mother with. Well, this man here, he was in that zone. And here's my point. I want your eyes to see that, him standing there, and the words he was using, that's exactly what I meant that I was saying to you about humble yourself and show humility when the people, because you never know what people have in their life. She never said anything. She never did that. And the reason I said that, when I heard her, Cal, talk about the little birds she used to bring home and do all the things with mother, and then they would allow her to bring the kittens and stuff in the house. And I'm a very sentimental guy. That's what I was attracted to. So every night of her program, I would listen to her voice. Her voice brought me comfort. No foolishness, no hanky banging. I want you to do that, Cal. Go up on that computer, and you can, download that. And you'll show where the mother was talking, and they interviewed the grandfather. And listen to what this man was saying with that type of not training in any institution of indoctrination. And I would say this about you, ma'am. That's what Ryan picked up. I picked up your sensitivity to someone that wasn't on your level as far as institution training, and you show compassion to them. And I want your eyes to see that for yourself. Because that's exactly what I was talking about. And about the thing that Dr. King is concerned, I said to the people out there the other day when I was speaking with them, Dr. King was not the civil rights movement. It was your grandmothers and many uncles and aunts and all those people. We was the solid rock of the civil rights movement. And Dr. King This happened to be one of the voices that spoke from that rock. And this is why we must continue to have compassion. I suggest that to you, and to continue your compassion, because when you give that, it comes 360 right back to you. Love and life. Somebody asked me, how do I know love and life is real? I said, because something in my soul, when I hear Malcolm, all you guys and the other gentlemen calling in, assisting, and giving your opinion on things that may, just the kind words, could uplift somebody's life. And I hope you're doing all right, Mr. Malcolm. Thank you very much.
Ron, I have a question for you. Wait. Are you still there? No, I lost him. Okay. Ron, thank you so much. So much. You know, just every conversation about Emmett Till, it 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 I don't know if I can adequately put into words how just his name makes me feel. Just saying his name makes me feel. But I had visited the African American Museum in Washington D.C. If you've not been, you must go. You must go. I suggest you take an entire day, though. You go early in the morning, because you're going to need the entire day, and you may not even make it through the whole museum if you go. But when the last time I went, Emmett Till's coffin was on display there, and it was in a room. I mean, just everything about walking into the room felt like pain and hurt, and just compounded pain and compounded hurt. Everything about, I don't know. I don't know because I know that I'm very, very, very sensitive, and I'm a very emotional person. So that could have just been me. It could have just been the effect that it had on me. But if you too visited the museum in Washington D.C. and you saw his coffin, and don't misunderstand me, because I'm not saying that I didn't feel anything from walking through the remainder of the museum, because I did. But there was something, it was so eerie. And those that were with me said the same thing. When we walked into that room and we saw his coffin, it was I can't even find the right words right now. I just can't. But saying his name, just his name, brings about so much hurt. But God bless his mother. God bless his mother. Just the being that she was. Just God bless her. Family, welcome to Love and Life with yours truly, Carol Riddick, right here on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media, on air and online at wordradio.com. Before we take a commercial break, I'm going to share some things with you, because I need to let you know. So, as you know, our very own love bug, Tiffany Bacon, is hosting a new show. Absolutely. Tune in to Breaking Bread every Sunday, where Tiffany will broadcast from a different restaurant, eatery, or chef's kitchen, where delicious delights and curious conversation are on the menu. Special guests will join Tiffany for brunch, where the conversations will focus on culture, business, health and well-being, media, literature, and the arts. Break bread with us every Sunday from 11 a.m. till noon, right here on Word, Progressive Black Talk Media. I also want to share with you that on Tuesday, June 25th at 4 p.m., tune in to Black Queer Power, a special Pride Month panel discussion moderated by City Council Live host Ernest Owens. Black Queer Power examines the intersection of leadership, influence, and queer community and culture. This conversation will highlight leaders who have challenged norms to occupy influential roles in civic life, government, media, arts, culture, and more. We'll be talking to State Representative candidate Andre Carroll, Reverend Naomi Washington Lephart, performer icon Ebony Fierce, Unpacking show hosts Malachi Stewart and Eric Cole, and others who are leading authentically as out and proud Black change agents in Philadelphia and beyond. Family, tune in on Tuesday, June 25th from 4 until 7 p.m. right here on Word Radio, and watch live on Word TV via Facebook, Twitch, and wordradio.com. This program is brought to you by Comcast. Well, you know, this week we didn't have our beloved sports oracle Chris Murray join us on Tuesday. Well, guess what? He's going to join us tonight. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. I'm so happy to say it because you know I love when Chris comes. He's a ray of sunshine. We're going to take a commercial break. Family, I see that you are commenting, and I want you to know that I do see your comments. I want to acknowledge, before we take our commercial break, I want to acknowledge that our love light, Joanne Dorman, is joining us. Hi there, love bug. Norm McGowan is joining us, sending some cool vibes on this hot summer evening. Norm shares good night to be with you and the Word family. It's a good night to be with you and the Word family with the air on high. A little water ice too. Guess what? I had a freeze pop today, y'all. I didn't even know they still made them. I was so happy to see a freeze pop. Cheryl Hicks Lucas is joining us. Our love light, Miss Audrey, she shares, we are so reliant on Word hosts to keep us apprised, and forevermore, we know more about our ancestors. With that said, love and light to everyone. And I will let Steph know that you shared. It was good to see her. I will. I love like Miss Rosalind. She is joining us. Hi there. Hi there. Hi there. Miss Audrey shares Nina Simone to be young, gifted, and Black. Words cannot describe the energy in our auditorium when we sang that song. I would love to have been there to hear that. Oof. Raphael Suleiman is joining us, as is Heather Wilson. Hi there, love bugs. Joey Parham. Hey there, Joey. And Eric, I see your message. I'm going to share that with Stephanie. He shares that those Gandalf gray locks are fire, weren't they? I mean, she really looked so good. I was like, well, wow. Donna Baker is joining us. Hi there. And Michael Chip Gordon. Hi there, love bug, is joining us as well. Nasir shares about the museum. It's an amazing place. It's very surreal. It is. It really is. It really is. And Miss Rosalind, to answer your question, yes is the answer to your question. Yes. Well, you were asking about Emmett Till. Yes. And Malcolm shares he hasn't had a freeze pop in ages. Well, guess what? I was all caught up. I ate 3. Family, we're going to take a commercial break, but stay with us because we will be right back.
If you're worried about losing your health insurance through Medicaid, we have great news for you. New government regulations have expanded the Affordable Care Act, and now you may qualify to get health insurance for you and your family through the Affordable Care Act. Call now to learn if you qualify. We know the healthcare regulations regarding Medicaid, and we've helped thousands of people find quality, affordable health insurance. Plus, all our research is free to you. So call us. With just one call, we'll shop from hundreds of different insurance companies to find you the right affordable health insurance plan. So if you're worried about losing your Medicaid insurance, call right now. Speak with a licensed agent and find how you may qualify for a new health insurance plan.
800-275-7851. 800-275-7851. 800-275-7851. That's 800-275-7851. Paid for by the Health Insurance Hotline.
Hi, this is Christina Ricci with RAIN. Join RAIN in the fight against sexual violence and volunteer in your community. Log on to RAIN.org. That's RAINN.org to learn how you can be the someone.
Brought to you by RAIN and this station.
In honor of Black Music Month, this is the Trans-Afro Express, a celebration of African, Caribbean, and African American music.
To be in this business of music, you are blessed. You can send messages to the 4 corners of the earth. We have it in our hands to decide where this world can go. We can unite.
This is Marsha Griffiths, a West Kingston, Jamaica-born singer whose career in music began in 1964. In the 70s, she was a member of the I-Threes, a trio of background vocalists for Bob Marley. But it was a remixed version of her 1983 song, Electric Boogie, that made her a global sensation. Electric Boogie, aka The Electric Slide, has been heard at almost every wedding, birthday gathering, or random party for over 30 years. This Black Music Month, we celebrate artists of the diaspora who influenced the world. This Black Music Month vignette was brought to you by PICO, the Pennsylvania Lottery, Comcast, Keystone First, and Ensemble Arts. For more information on the Trans-Afro Express, join us for our live event on June 14th at World Cafe Live. After June 14th, check out the panel discussion on soundcloud.com/on WURD.
No, what's the word, boy? What's the word? What's the word?
WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
What is love?
You're listening to Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
I think I know what love is.
Well, hey there, family. Welcome back. You are tuned in to Love and Life with CarolRiddick right here on WURD. We were talking about so many things in the first hour. Our love light, Stephanie Renee, came to visit with us, and she shared about some wonderful events. And our love light, Ron, called, and we all walked down memory lane. I do want to share some comments that you posted. Our love light, Ms. Rosalind, shares, just even speaking the name takes us all back. She's referencing Emmett Till. She writes, it happened to him. It happened to all of us. And you can feel it in your soul. Yes, that is so true. God needed an angel and he chose him gone, but not forgotten. Rest in peace. Keep the gates open. Our love light, Miss Julie, shares, Carol, everything that we heard, read, and for many lived the experience of walking through museums depicting facts of our ancestors. In a few words, riveting, amazing, and soulful. You know, it's always... Agree. I agree wholeheartedly. But it always, as much of our truth that I do know, and I know we're all grateful. I know we are all grateful. But it just remembering, just walking through, I'm reliving moments walking through the museum. That's what's happening right now. And of the pictures that I took of the shackles we were in, of the contraptions that were made to bind us, of all the things that our ancestors suffered, of all the things that they went through for us to be where we are today, for us to be here, for us to have the freedom that we enjoy and that so many take for granted. But I'm just having a moment, just remembering. Family, I was sharing with you that our love light, Chris Murray, is going to join us tonight. Yes, I am. Yes, I did. For those of you who don't know, Chris is our sports oracle. Yes, he is. He's an on-air personality. He's a journalist and a college professor. He's a Renaissance man with more than 30 years of experience as a journalist. He's covered the Super Bowl, the World Series, the NCAA tournament, the NBA playoffs, World Championship boxing, and that is just to name a few. But now, each Saturday, Chris hosts his own sports show right here on WURD, the Chris Murray Report, where he brings all of his intellect and his personality and exceptional perspectives on all aspects of sports. Family, I welcome you to the conversation with our love light, Chris Murray. Hey there, Chris. Uh-oh, what happened? Did we lose you, Chris? I think we did. I can't see you or hear you. We're going to give Chris a moment to work that out. But I'm curious to know if you, family, how many of you have visited? I'm going to go back to this conversation. How many of you have visited the museum in DC? Now, see, I heard you say that you did. So the first time I went, let me share this. The first time I went, I did not know what to expect. I went in the afternoon. I had chosen an afternoon time, and I was furious. I was so upset because I hadn't even completed one floor. I had not gotten through one floor yet because I wanted to take my time. I've been 3 times now, but the last time was the only time that I walked through the entire museum in a day. But realistically, if you intend to digest it all and take your time doing so, you need a couple of days. You really do. You really do, because there's so much. There's so much to take in. And they actually make a suggestion to you about how to view the museum.
Can you hear me now?
For your own mental health. Oh, there he is. There you are. Okay, well, yes, we can hear you. For about your own mental health. Okay,
Now,
we can't hear you.
okay, I don't know what that picture is, but I can't. I mean, for some reason, I think my camera is on. My camera appears to be on, but let me double check it. Oh, and I
You want to try
apologize.
logging out? No. You want to try logging off and coming back in?
Yeah, why not do that?
Okay.
All right, why not?
Okay. So, family, I was saying that they make a suggestion. The staff makes a suggestion at the museum when you visit about how you should view it. And quite honestly, they're right. They were right. They were right to take in certain areas first. But I highly, highly recommend it. I do. Last year, I visited the Harriet Tubman Museum. Are you all familiar? I had no idea that there was a Harriet Tubman Museum in Cape May. It's a house. It's a home. But they have different artifacts and articles, and I was just I was blown away because I did not know it existed. But just learning, I'm always anxious and to learn of our history. So last year I spent the good part of the day in the Harriet, and it's a home. It's one floor. It's not you're not it's not a whole lot to see, but just knowing she had been there, just knowing she was there, there was just so much, so much to take in. Okay, we're going to try Chris again. Let's see. There he is.
Can you hear me now?
Yes. Hey, Chris.
How are you?
I am well, thank you. I am well. I will not complain. Welcome. We missed you on Tuesday.
Yeah. And like I said, I was actually I had to cover. I was scheduled to cover a Phillies game, so I had to be there, and I didn't want to use I could have used. I thought about using their cafeteria, but I didn't trust the acoustics. People come in and out, and so from that perspective, I am I'm doing the show, and I'm glad to be here. I said, look, let's move it to Thursday. And plus the fact I get to stay up late because I don't have to work tomorrow.
Well, we appreciate you. You were going to bring us to the Phillies game with you. Well, look at that.
Yeah, I looked at the logistics of it, and my wife is downstairs. So like I say, we go to commercial break. I gotta bring some groceries up. See, I'm a husband. I gotta be a husband and everything. Right. So I have to, get out there and do. But I gotta say, this is kind of a sad occasion for a lot of reasons. From a sports perspective, it's the death of Willie Mays and whatnot. Mm-hmm. And from a music perspective, mm-hmm. I loved Angela Bofill. I revered Angie Bofill. And when I found out she passed away, I was in a rent-a-car and I went to YouTube and I found a section called Angela Bofield's Greatest Hits. And that music, that death hit me hard too, because Angela Bofield was such a man. She had a beautiful voice. I mean, she had a really, really beautiful voice. And I'm kind of, I was kind of bummed, man. And I'm bummed about Willie Mays because he's one of the great players. They're playing an exhibition game at Rookwood Field where the Birmingham Black Barons shared a stadium with a white team. And before Willie Mays died, one of my best friends from high school bought me this book for his birthday about Willie Mays and everything. Now I'm gonna have to read.
Wow!
And this was before, like I said, my birthday was last week, and my friend Phil Nance, so I can shout him out as one of my best friends from high school, and as a matter of fact, we used to conduct 100-yard dashes in the hallway together. But the thing about it, Willie Mays was to me the first definition, that first prototype for what they call a 5-tool player. And when we come back from the break, I like to kind of break that down for you to talk about the challenges of being players in that era and whatnot, because he was just such a tremendous. He's Barry Bonds' godfather, and Barry learned a lot from Willie. That's all I can say for that.
Family, as Chris just talked into the commercial break, that's what we're going to do. We're going to take a commercial break, but stay with us because we are coming right back.
It's the WURD Hot 60. Hot 60. Here's the hottest 60 seconds you missed on Reality Check.
John Donnenberg, he is the director of the National Economic Council for Competition Council Policy.
The new rules that the president and his Department of Transportation have put out over the last week are really designed to, end that sort of nonsense. And they're in two big categories. In the first category is disclosure. The airlines have to tell consumers upfront what it is they're going to be charged. Is there a fee for a first bag or a second bag or a carry-on? Is there a fee for a change or a cancellation? These sorts of things. And then the second one is on refunds. And the idea here is pretty simple. If your flight is canceled or significantly changed or your baggage disappears for extended periods of time, you get a refund. It's automatic. It's for what it is that you paid. And it's going to come back to you in cash or on your credit card, not chasing down vouchers, for months.
And that's your hottest 60 seconds from Reality Check on WURD Progressive. Black Talk Media.
The Dell Music Center, where the stars take center stage. Thursday, July 11th. It's the Clark Sisters. The award-winning Clark Sisters. John P. Key, Blessing Offer, and Dr. Reverend Alan E. Waller. Then Thursday, July 18th. Get ready for Charlie Wilson with special guests Leela James and Jeff Bradshaw. Then Thursday, July 25th, it's Johnny Gill, plus Marsha Ambrosius and Jay Brown. Get tickets at the Dell Box Office and Ticketmaster.
New Jersey's got a lot of summer wow. We got your Under the Sun wows. Your This is too much fun wows. Your That wine was sublime wows. And your One more time wows. So come see what your wow's gonna be. New Jersey, it's one summer wow after another after another. Find your wow at visitnj.org. New Jersey, little state, lot of wow.
Only 4% of universities in the U.S. are R1 research institutions, and Temple University is one of them. This means 100% of students have the opportunity to participate in hands-on learning and research with world-class faculty. With over 600 academic programs across 17 schools and colleges, Philadelphia's largest public university provides students with a rich variety of opportunities and propels graduates to succeed in their careers. Temple University. Schedule a campus tour today at admissions.temple.edu/visit.
Until people come before profit. Until all energy is clean. Until the wild is truly free. Earth Justice will never rest. Earth Justice is a national legal nonprofit defending the planet and its people for nearly 50 years. Earth Justice has 150 full-time lawyers fighting in court for our planet's future and representing all clients free of charge. No one fights more cases on the environment than Earth Justice. And we win because these are fights we cannot lose. Until justice stands for all, Earth Justice will never rest. If you share our restless spirit and want to commit to fighting for a just and equitable future for everyone, go to earthjustice.org/neverrest. Earth Justice, because the earth needs a good lawyer.
Tune in to Evening Words with Dr. James Peterson every Tuesday in June at 4:20 p.m. for The Word on Men's Health, a weekly segment focusing on Black men's wellness. This segment is brought to you by the Pennsylvania Lottery, benefiting older Pennsylvanians every day.
Celebrating Black excellence worldwide and bringing joy and power to the people. This is WURD 900 AM and 96.1 FM, Philadelphia. Streaming online on wordradio.com and the Word Radio app.
What is love?
You're listening to Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
I think I know what love is.
Well, hey there, family. Welcome back. You are tuned in to Love and Life with Carol Riddick and Chris Murray right here on WURD. Welcome to the top of the second hour of Love and Life. Before we went to commercial break, Chris was sharing with us, we started the conversation about the loss of Willie Mays at 93. Oh, Chris, we can't hear you. Wait, we've lost your sound. We're having some technical difficulties, but sit tight. We cannot hear you yet. Now you're muted on your end. Okay, now we can hear you.
Okay. So from that standpoint, Willie Mays was just an amazing player, and he was one of the last of the Negro League stars. And him along with Hank Aaron were the most successful, along with Jackie and Larry Doby and others who were very successful stars from the Negro Leagues. And he was just one of the all-time great players, 660 home runs. I mean, he had the speed to steal bases. He was just an all-around great player who, like a lot of Black players from that time, they experienced a lot of the slings and arrows of racism, especially during spring training in Florida. And those guys went through a lot, and yet they became really great ball players. And it's a funny thing. I interviewed too when I did back in 2005. I did a series for the Philadelphia Tribune on Blacks in baseball, and I talked to two people who now deceased but very nationally known. One was the great Buck O'Neill. And the other one was David Halberstam, who wrote all kinds of books about American history. He also wrote a couple of books about baseball. And one of the things in doing that interview that they both told me was that players like Mays, Willie Mays, Frank Robinson, even Roberto Clemente and some others, they played the game coming out of the Negro Leagues with a ferocity that, we talk about, Pete Rose, everybody called Pete Rose Charlie Hustle. You know where Pete Rose got that Charlie Hustle mentality? Hanging around Frank Robinson and Vada Pinson, all those Black players who in the 1950s were trying to prove that they belong and that their brand of baseball in the Negro Leagues was just as good, if not better. And one of the things that Willie Mays said was that, when he got to the big leagues, he said the minor leagues were like almost a come down from playing against the great Negro League stars like Satchel Paige. And he talked in the book that I just showed you, he talks about getting struck out by Satchel Paige, and how Satchel Paige told him that he was going to strike him out.
Oh, wow.
And he went ahead
and did it.
And Mays was just, And you talk about Barry Bonds and everything. Barry's dad, Bobby, was really close with Willie Mays, and Barry, learned a lot. I mean, Barry was, and even before quote unquote steroids, Barry was just a great player. So, and he learned from his godfather and mentor Willie Mays, and Willie, he just played the game. He just played the game with ferocity and enthusiasm that nobody could match. I mean, he won the MVP a couple of times, and he was a 12-time Gold Glove winner in center field. Guy could play. I mean, he had the most famous catch in baseball history. I wish I could show you a clip on YouTube or something where a ball was hit. Now the New York Giants. Okay. The New York Giants used to play in a stadium that was like near Harlem called the Polo Grounds. And they played at that stadium for many years until they moved to San Francisco. In game one of the 1954 World Series, where the New York Giants were facing a Cleveland Indians team that had 420 game winners as pitchers and won a record amount of games. They faced, the Giants faced a guy with men on base named Vic Wertz from the Cleveland Indians, then the former Cleveland Indians. And this guy, Wertz, hit a ball to the deepest part of the Polo Grounds. A very famous catch. Mays, the people who were watching it at the time, and Bob Costas talked about this in the PBS series Baseball. He was saying, no one even thought about the possibility that Mays was going to catch that ball. What they were basically saying was, will Mays catch this ball and we'll get to the ball before it became an inside the park home run. Catching this ball wasn't even in the question, and Mays made an over the hand catch.
Well, I'm looking for it. As you speak, I'm looking for it. The catch. That's what they're calling the catch.
Yeah, and they're calling it it was one, and the thing about it, he just had the speed. He just had that speed to get there. And I believe and I think that in baseball, we have what we call guys who are 5-tool guys, right? And when you're a 5-tool outfielder or a player, that basically means that, number one, you can hit for power. You can hit about maybe 40 or 50 home runs, but you can also hit for average, because in baseball, the standard is if you fail 7 out of 10 times and whatnot, if you're batting above 300 and everything, and you have a good slugging percentage, and you can hit for power, you can hit for average. You also, if you're a good runner, if you have speed, both defensively and offense, you can steal bases, okay? And if you have an arm. So those 5 tools are what? Hit for average, hit for power, okay? You got speed, you can run, you got speed, you can play the outfield, and you can catch a ball, but you can throw the ball. So basically, Willie Mays had all that and was probably one of the first guys to really have that down pat. And he was just a tremendous player. And, and he went through, all those guys went through all those things regarding racism in the sport, racism in America, because even though you integrated the sport, you still had pockets of the country that were, especially the South, and even in the North too. Let's not, Philadelphia was not necessarily friendly to Jackie Robinson, and so, and even to Dick Allen as well. But that's another story. But the thing is that Mays played a long time, 23 seasons. His last appearance was in the World Series when he played with the Mets. He came back home late in his career to play back in New York. And he, like I said, he is a tremendous loss. Like I said, one of the last of the great Negro League players. And I just, like I said, I words cannot express I feel bad. I mean, and he lived to be 93 years old, a great ambassador to the game. Like I said, he was a mentor to Barry Bonds, and he was just, like I said, just one of the all-time good guys in the game. He would come out into the community and play stickball with the kids in New York. Matter of fact, I can't remember the name of the jazz band, but they had this song they had a special song. Say, hey, say, Willie, that Giants kid is great. And they used to play this song, and they had one I think they also had one for Jackie Robinson. Like, did you see Jackie Robinson hit that ball? He stole home. I mean, we celebrated those black baseball players back in the day like that. And we basically, just got to that point to where like I said, he was just a great player, and he talked about a lot of the racism he had to go through, and he had to just play ball. He went through it, and he played through it, and he wasn't, and like I said, he said that when he came into, he said he had a much easier time, and I'm sure he had to deal with playing in places like the South. I mean, the South was hard on a lot of black minor league ball players in those days. I mean, you had all kinds of indignities like Kurt Flood.
Oh, Chris. Oh, no. We've lost Chris. Heavens to Murgatroyd. What's happening tonight? Family, I'm trying to get this video. I want to share with everybody the video of which he is speaking about Willie Mays, talking about the catch. Oh, here he is. Chris is back with us.
I don't know.
What happened to you? What's going on tonight?
I don't know. I hope I'm not touching certain things in my studio, in my home studio. I know it's hot outside, but but what I was saying, that, Kurt Flood used to talked about a time when they were doing laundry between doubleheaders, washing the players' uniforms, and one of the laundry guys on the team, or he was playing for a minor league team in the South Atlantic League. They used to call it the Sally League. It still exists to this day. But they said the guy washing his clothes used the stick, had to pick his clothes up with a stick because he didn't want to touch the clothes of a black man. What? And they had to send his clothes to a colored cleaners and all that. I mean, it's just, those were the indignities that when they had to go to down to Florida for spring training, they couldn't even stay in the same hotels as their teammates and everything. And so that was the harsh life of a lot of black players playing in the Major League Baseball in the 1950s, and which is why the Civil Rights Movement was very important, very instrumental. I mean, to me, this was like the first, all those players integrating baseball, where they were like those guys were the Freedom Riders and the and the sitting guys before Medgar Evers and King and Snick and all those other people got involved and whatnot, because they had to endure those indignities and they were star players. Hank Aaron, all those guys were star baseball players, and yet because of the color of their skin, I mean, Jackie Robinson is well documented. A lot of Philly fans don't like the Phillies to this day because of how Jackie Robinson was treated, and I don't think in this era, I don't think it's that fair, because we've had some black players, great black players play here in Philly in recent memory, and so, but I do think, but the scar of that still exists to this day, and so from that perspective, Willie Mays will be missed, and he, like I say, to me, he's arguably, stats with notwithstanding, one of the greatest players that ever played the game of baseball.
Yeah, it came as a shock to me when I heard that he was gone. I do want to share, our family members are checking in. Sync Blue shares, just tuning in, and y'all are talking about my all-time favorite baseball player, Willie. Say hey, kid. Mays, number 24. Thank you, Chris. Thank you so much. Ms. Roslyn, she was clowning you. She shares, you know what happened? Maybe Chris looks like he's tired. He needs some rest celebrating his birthday in Juneteenth. Chris had a ball. That's what it was. That's what she shares is going on tonight. And she also shares happy birthday again. Welcome back to Love and Life. She said she wrote that she saw that you and your wife had a ball. Shout out to all the people that helped you celebrate your birthday. You had beautiful pictures. Yeah. But it was, you know, it was going back to the conversation about Willie Mays. It was a shock to me that he was gone. And quite honestly, I hadn't heard much about him in the more recent years. So it seemed to it just felt like, oh wow. It just, you know, it just hit hard. It did. One of our greats.
It's just not another, and I hate to say that from our state, it's another indication that we're all. He was 93 years old.
I know.
Like I say, I'll be happy to get the 83 and whatnot. I'll be happy to get the 83 or 85. You know, although I will say even further, I like to say if I get up when I get up every day, I feel like I'm blessed. You know what I mean?
Because we are.
Because, like I said again, you know, I've had friends this year, fraternity brothers and what have you, you know, and some of my AKA sisters, you know, all kind of passed away before their time. And so every day, that's why you gotta say it. You gotta thank God for every day that you get up in the morning. I mean, life is a blessing, man. You know?
Better, you absolutely better. We always say that. I was commenting about what you just said. Someone passed away before their time. We always say before their time. We always say that because when God calls you, that's our time.
That's true.
That's our time. That's our time. When He calls us home, that's our time. That is our time. I want to pivot for a moment. We've talked thus far about the loss of two greats, Angela Bofill and Willie Mays. But I want your opinion on something else. And I'm pivoting in this moment. Charles Barkley retiring.
Well, I think, you know, for next year, I think next year, I'm happy for him in the sense that I don't always agree with Charles Barkley on a lot of things, but you know, he was funny. He was funny and entertaining. It's gonna be hard to see him go, and that whole chemistry that TNT had with Kenny Smith and Shaquille O'Neal, and you know, those guys were funny. I mean, I have people, you know, to tell you how much I have a certain disdain for black respectability politics. People were talking about how Charles Barkley and another guy, Cameron Perkins, or how they quote unquote butcher the English language. But you know, you got those guys because they know basketball and because they have a little sense of humor. I mean, you know, it's like in some respects, not everybody in our community will come on. Like people who call my show, they're not going to speak to me in perfect, you know, scholarese. Well, Mr. Murray, I believe that, you know, that in sports we should do this. Some of us I don't mind on people, you know, coming with the neighborhood tongue and how we speak, you know, informally in the neighborhood. You know, we you know, when I'm at, you know, I was down at Juneteenth after yesterday's game, after the Phillies lost yesterday's game, and it was just good to see people who call a show. It was good to see people who recognize you and all that, and to say, you know, Charles Barkley, you know, don't always agree with Charles Barkley on his politics and all that, but Charles Barkley, you know, was entertaining at the very least. Whether you agree, I mean, he made you laugh. And all that. He said some of the silliest things in the world, but you know, but the thing about it, I like, and I'm kind of sorry that they're gonna. I guess if TNT doesn't make a deal with the NBA, I'm sorry that they're gonna. That show was the best, you know, basketball, you know, studio show, you know, period. I mean, I love that show.
Yeah,
I mean,
I agree wholeheartedly.
I mean, you gotta, you know, and sometimes I'll watch that before I watch post game live on the Sixers. No offense to the people that I know there, people I know who work on post game live, but the thing is, at the same time, I mean, what you want to see is you want good basketball. You want people to talk, but you also gotta be funny.
They were entertaining. They were
have to be entertaining.
Yes, they were very entertaining.
And it's like when I'm on this show, yes, I'm informative, but I like to have a little fun with the show, and that's the thing. I mean, but not everybody's gonna be, because I don't come on. Well, ladies and gentlemen, sports with this happened and all. I mean, sometimes you gotta, people. Some of my friends tell me that they listen to my show. They say we bring the barbershop. We bring the barbershop to the radio. And sometimes, like I have Germantown Joe and BG from Germantown and all that. And they come on the show just to go at each other. And that happens in the barbershop. Although, what we will not have on the show is people talking about how far. Like one time I was in DC and I was getting my hair cut when I had hair. I was getting my hair cut, and somebody was telling me how much we would have this weird argument about how you would survive falling out of a plane. Do you take off the clothes to lessen the impact? People, they have these conversations. I mean, in the barbershop, if you fell out of a plane.
Wait. I need to hear the logic. Wait, I need to hear the logic of how that works. I'm so mad we have to go to commercial break, but I need to hear the logic of how if you were falling out of a plane, how taking off your clothes would help to lessen the impact. I really need to hear that in my life. Listen, Chris is going to explain to us when we come back from this commercial break. That's what he's going to do. That's what he's going to do. He's going to educate us all. Family, stay with us. We're taking a short commercial break, but the phone lines are always open, and feel free to continue to comment on our socials. I will do my best to read it out loud. I promise you I will. In any event, stay with us because we'll be right back.
Tune into Afro Unity Beats Sundays at 5 p.m. hosted by Brother Shamari, David Barnes, and Patrick Atsadu. Afro Unity Beats features contemporary Afrobeat melded with the traditional African, Caribbean, and Black-rooted musical forms from around the diaspora. Check out weekly artists from different parts of the diaspora discussing the latest sounds from their part of the world and the history of their musical origins. That's Afro Unity Beats every Sunday, except the fourth Sunday at 5 p.m. only on WURD. Progressive Black Talk Media.
My grandma could always tell when I was into something dangerous. She used to say, mess around if you want to, you gonna fool around and find out. She was right, and nothing good ever came from ignoring her advice. That's exactly how I feel when I hear somebody telling me to vote for Trump or just not vote at all. It wasn't that long ago that our parents and grandparents had to fight in the streets for basic civil rights. We can't forget where we've come from or how quickly things can go back if we don't stand up for our rights and the rights of the next generation. Joe Biden, he's not perfect, but the choice is clear. Our votes elected Biden, and he's shown up. Billions in loans to Black small businesses, banned police chokeholds and federal no-knock warrants, canceled $167 billion in student loan debt.
Let's get this done.
Our votes have the power to determine our future. Make it count or fool around and find out. Paid for by Black Pac, which is responsible for the content of this ad. BlackPac.com, not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee.
From ancestral villages to the fields of resistance, our heritage in rhythms and sounds transcends generation, genre, gender, and adversity. Let's honor musical pioneers whose call and response have shaped American music. From blues queen Ma Rainey to superstar philanthropist Rihanna, join Unerased Black Women Speak to celebrate Black Music Month and the sound of freedom. Find your inspiration at uneраsedbws.com.
Tune in to Eco Word Magazine, hosted by POC, the first Friday at 10 a.m. for the PA Lottery Eco Word Fact of the Month. Brought to you by PA Lottery, benefiting older Pennsylvanians every day.
White people go around, it seems to me, with a very carefully suppressed terror
for Black people. They don't know what the blackface hides. They're sure it's hiding something. What it's hiding is American history. What it's hiding is what white people know they have done and are doing. White people know one thing. They know they would not like to be Black here.
James Baldwin is a name we will never forget in literature and civil rights. Born August 2nd, 1924 in Harlem, New York, Baldwin emerged as a profound voice of his generation. He fearlessly addressed the complex intersections of race, sexuality, and identity while adeptly writing about social injustices. An essayist, novelist, and playwright, Baldwin's esteemed works still hold truth and meaning today. Some of his most notable works include The Fire Next Time, a scathing critique of American racism through two letters, one addressed to America and the other to his nephew. Giovanni's Room, now considered part of the LGBTQ canon, Giovanni's Room explores a story of same-sex desire set in 1950s Paris. And Notes of a Native Son, an insightful collection of essays about race, popular culture, and more in America and Europe. Baldwin's activism was not confined to the page. He was known as a prominent civil rights and gay liberation activist who paved the way for Black queer thought, writing, and art. His legacy lives on today as we celebrate the brilliance of our Black LGBTQ ancestors. We wish all of our LGBTQIA listeners a month filled with joy, celebration, and pride. This Pride Month vignette was brought to you by Comcast.
We're celebrating Black influence and Black excellence worldwide on the home of progressive Black talk media, WURD. You're listening to Love and Life with Carol Riddick on WURD, progressive Black talk media.
And we are back. Welcome back to Love and Life with Carol Riddick and Chris Murray right here on WURD. Family, for those of you who are just joining us, welcome. But before the commercial break, Chris was sharing with us barbershop talk. He was sharing.
Yeah, see, you know, somebody, because you get these old guys that come in. See, if he comes around at like a certain trajectory, then they gonna do this. If he comes to the hands for, and I'm sitting here like, I'm in the barbershop chair, trying not to laugh, because you know if you move a certain way, I'm like, come on, turn this way, you know, and all that. But the thing is, some of the stuff, and it's not just that. It's like sometimes they talk about what's going on in the hood, or they give me 10,000 conspiracy theories. You know, all these people are certain things and all that. Let me tell you how.
Don't you think you are going to run away from that? You cannot be evasive. Chris, you shared with us that if one should just so happen to fall out of an airplane, one could survive by possibly removing one's clothes. And I want to know how this works.
The thing is, that's what I'm trying to say. I don't know how it works. I just heard somebody say it. And I'm looking like, like, come on, man. You know, the fall if you fall out of a plane from how high a plane, you'll be already dead by the time you get to the water. Okay. Or you leave your clothes on, you're in the water, you're not going to be able to go down and swim, because by the time you hit the water, your legs are probably gone. Your legs are probably gone, your arm is gone, and the oxygen and the force of gravity will probably kill you. But but we never let facts. But the brothers never let facts come in the way of a good story.
I was doing my research on the commercial break, and I only found one person that survived falling out of an airplane. She survived from 30,000 feet, 33,000 feet.
One person.
Yes, one person. She was a Serbian flight attendant who survived the highest fall without a parachute. 33,338 feet.
And she probably had several broken bones. And
I don't know. But I was reading, like I looked it up specifically, and it's well, if your clothes would help, and it reads no. Using your t-shirt as a parachute will not save you from falling out of an airplane. The fabric is far too thin and lightweight. I said, well, maybe, Chris.
I just like I said, I just heard I'm sitting in the barbershop waiting to get my hair cut. And these guys are talking about, man, well, see, and as always, we'll see if it's a certain trajectory, like it's like Eamon Wayne's character. If the trajectory is the high, whatever, and I'm sitting here like, okay.
The trajectory. Do you hear this? Wait, Nick, you hear this about the trajectory? Do you hear this?
As far as talk goes, that sounds pretty. Yeah, I believe it. I could buy it if you could explain it, well enough.
Okay. Well, there you go. There you have it. Chris, Nick said
I'm just saying that in some barbershops, I've seen it happen all over the country, DC, Baltimore. Guys are always talking about something or talk about how to deal with women. Now, so you got to manage your woman and this, that, and guys, and I'm sitting in there like guys are talking now. Of course, none of the wives are in there to hear some of the stuff.
My goodness.
Guys,
of course they're not.
All kinds of things in the barbershop, from conspiracy theories.
Oh, my Lord. All right.
And like I said, anybody that owns a barbershop, I challenge them to say that they haven't had those weird whacked out conversations, in the bar or
I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it. Well, listen, let's pivot for a moment because I still want to pick your brain about some things. Okay. Boston, the championship win.
I mean that to me. Boston was great. They've been great all year. As much as I hate the Celtics, as much as I hate and all that other stuff, but you got to acknowledge the fact that Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown played at an extraordinary level in that series, and he's a Finals MVP. So did Jrue Holiday, and I know Sixers fans are still kind of mad about Jrue Holiday. They traded him, and Jrue Holiday won championships with the Bucks and the Celtics. If the Sixers would have had Jrue Holiday instead of Ben Simmons, we might have won a championship. The Sixers, I'm not gonna say we because I'm not on the team, but the Sixers might have won a championship. But and then they got swindled out of Jason Tatum because they were worried that the Celtics were going to take Markelle Fultz, who didn't amount to anything, and then they got Ben Simmons, who got into the league and did not amount to anything, and so I sometimes watching that finals was hard because you saw how good one organization does it, and now we're complaining every year. Oh, Embiid is hurt. We need to get another player. We need Paul George. We need somebody. We need, and if I'm a Sixers fan, I'm kind of mad. I'm mad that the Celtics won because, like I said, we went through the process, tank games, did all this stuff, and nothing has come out of it. And And to me, it is a clear sign that the process was a failure. You got Joel Embiid, but you didn't win. You can't even get past the second round of the playoffs.
If we're being realistic, can we really, as Sixers fans, be upset? What exactly was the expectation? We saw what we were being presented with was consistent. It wasn't like, did we expect it to change? Did we really, really expect it to change?
No, I don't think so. If you're a cynic like me, you weren't expecting it to change. No, you were not. You were not expecting it to change because, in the last couple of years, watching the Sixers in the playoffs, and the Sixers are my one Philadelphia favorite team. That was my favorite team before I came to Philadelphia. And I'm just like, man, I'm mad, man, because as a fan, you want your team to win. And I remember what it felt like seeing Dr. J. Last couple of times he had the ball. One, he hit a jump shot, and I still say he made this dunk, and he just, he basically in the last minute of that game took over and put the Lakers out of their misery. And and to see the Celtics hoist number 18, I mean, it's just like, man, we can't even get out. I mean, Allen Iverson, God bless him, took the Sixers to the finals, and that was the last time. I mean, people are now. That was the last time.
So I absolutely love Dr. J. Just have loved him for years, years. And I was this was maybe, I don't know, 2 years ago. I was at the Four Seasons Hotel. And I was sitting in the lobby and he walked in. I almost ran to him and hugged him. I had to stop myself. I said, "This man will have me arrested. He doesn't know me, but I love him so much that I felt compelled." It was like, "Oh, it's him!" Like I had to catch myself. Like, if you don't get yourself together, but I love Dr. J. Always have, always have.
Yeah, Dr. J was just, like I said, he was playing above the rim before a lot of. No, I'm not gonna say Connie Hawkins. There were guys who preceded him, but he took it to another level in the ABA and in the NBA. And we really didn't see Doc at his best with me because the ABA. Some stations played their games. Sometimes it was rare that I could. In my area, that they would play ABA games on TV, and in my household, for my brothers and sisters, I had to clamor for TV time because I was a sports guy in my household, and and everybody wondered why we don't want to watch sports all day. So
I can only imagine, because that's how I was when I was younger. I have a lot of family members who played sports. So we had a big sports family. I do want to share, Sick Blue shares, famous for the basket catch, recognized for over the head shoulder catch. Mays was quoted, "Every time I look in my pockets, I see Jackie Robinson." I love it. Sick also follows up by sharing some of the greatest stories and where legends were created were at the barbershop. Right? I know.
I saw CK during Odunde. I saw him down at Odunde.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I saw him at Odunde. I think it was that, because Al Butler has the side John and whatnot.
Yes. Who doesn't know about the side John? Who doesn't love the side John? I want to share Miss Rosalind shares back in the day, 15th and Susquehanna. Dan's Zoo Shop Barbershop talk was the greatest. You learned a lot from the old heads back in the good old days, and even got a shape up for $5. Now a haircut is $500. I want to share that Shirley Bryan, hi there, beautiful. Our love light is checking in, and Malcolm said, "Chris, get out of here." There are guys in the paratroopers that will come down wrong and still break a leg. So
now, see, I'm not saying I'm an advocate of that. I just heard the story. I was just a witness. Now, I'm looking like, really?
You said it didn't come from you. You heard it in the barbershop.
I heard other people say, "Nah, man, well, you saw it." And I'm sitting in there, and some of it is like,
what?
What?
Wait, Joey, I wanted to let you know that we see you. And also, James is joining us on the phone line. Hey there, James. Welcome to the conversation.
Hey, what's up, Chris? What's up, Carol?
Hey, James.
As far as FB barbershop talk, it's the modern day Wilt Chamberlain. I said that before. We should pamper him and build around him. He can do everything. If we have to get him a pair of pants so he can wear on a court in case he have to go to the bathroom, that's what we should do.
You said we should pamper him? That's what you said? I'm sorry, James.
Yeah. Take care of him. Don't play him so hard. We messed up when we burned him up. We had to. I get that. But right now, he's the Wilt Chamberlain on steroids. The modern day Wilt Chamberlain. I'm looking for him to score close to 100.
Yeah, we are too.
No.
You talking about Embiid?
Yes.
We're talking about the same Embiid, Joel Embiid.
You know, we talking about you compare,
We talking about the same one?
I'm gonna push back on that.
Them out.
Wait,
We burned them out.
okay. Well, I think he's coddled enough. I think we coddle him.
Yeah.
That's my now. The family don't hurt me. That's my own personal opinion. I believe we coddle him.
Let's take care of him. Let's build around him, protect his needs. Just give him some rest. Let's build around and get some chess pieces in there.
Man, I'm going to beat you with a wet noodle. If that man rests anymore, he will be stealing a check from the Sixers organization.
I mean, don't get it twisted. He has legitimate injuries.
He
does
does
every year. Every year. And the thing about it, and then when he does play, like in big games, game sevens and all that, take over the game. If you can, I mean, if you can score 50 points in the game and whatnot, do that. I mean, but you know, I understand he's hurt because I don't want to be the ogre and says, well, he should play because you know, injuries. Sometimes it's hard to play on busted up knees and busted foots and all that. That's no joke. But I just think that he's hurt every year come playoff time, and the Sixers, unless they need a strong supporting cast around. I will agree with that. They need a strong supporting cast around him. But the thing is, it's just that, every year with this guy, can we ever have I mean, everybody has aches and pains coming into the playoffs, but his is kind of chronic, or he's not in shape, or when he does get injured. When he came back from injury, you knew he wasn't 100% conditioning wise and all that. You knew when he missed all that time that was going to come back and haunt him. But but still, it's like every year, and unless the Sixers get some players, and they do need players around him,
they do.
But
listen, I don't want to sound, and to your point, Chris, you know that I am joking, James. I am joking. Now, I mean it when I say that I feel that he's coddled, but I'm making light. I really am making light of it because I can't do any of what he does. So I cannot do any of what Joel Embiid does. So I am making light. No, what? Not even in a game. You don't want to see me. They used to laugh. I try. You don't want to see me with a basketball. Oh, it is a sight. It is a sight. Oh my God, not a good one. Not a good one. Okay. Listen, what I want to do, James, thank you for calling because you made me laugh. You made me chuckle. We're going to take a commercial break, but Chris, I was able to download the video, so I want to show the catch, Willie Mays, the video that you referenced earlier, and I want to talk about Gervonta Davis when we come back. Family, stay with us because we are coming right back.
The Dell Music Center, where the stars take center stage. Thursday, July 11th, it's the Clark Sisters. The award-winning Clark Sisters. John P.K., Blessing Awful, and Dr. Reverend Alan E. Waller. Then Thursday, July 18th, get ready for Charlie Wilson with special guests Leela James and Jeff Bradshaw. Then Thursday, July 25th, it's Johnny Gill, plus Marsha Ambrosius and Jay Brown. Get tickets at the Dell Box Office and Ticketmaster.
Hey, this is AJ with your Penn Medicine Cares and the Community Updates. This June, schedule a free breast cancer screening with Penn Medicine in your community. Penn Medicine, in partnership with Siemens Healthineers, the Community of Christian Compassion, and The Fresh Grocer, are offering free breast cancer screenings with Siemens' state-of-the-art mobile mammography van from June 3rd to June 14th. The screening van will be located at the Fresh Grocer parking lot, 421 South 69th Street in Upper Darby. Exams take less than 10 minutes. Private changing rooms are available, and translation services will be on site. Registration is encouraged, but walk-ins are welcome. Don't delay. Early detection saves lives. Call 267-414-2205 and register. That's 267-414-2205 to register for your free breast cancer screening with Penn Medicine. At Penn Medicine, our mission is improving the health of people we serve. Visit pennmedicine.org/community and learn more.
Represent!
Want the latest in word swag? Check out the shop tab on wordradio.com. Hoodies, tees, and more in a variety of colors. It's the shop tab on wordradio.com. You can look good and show the world that you're all about Black Talk Media.
No, what's the word, boy? What's the word? What's the word?
WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
Let me tell you something, and don't you ever forget it. Success is nothing without someone you love to share it with.
You're listening to Love and Life with Carol Riddick on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
Well, hey there, family. Welcome back. You are tuned in to Love and Life with Carol Riddick and Chris Murray right here on WURD. I was sharing before the commercial break that I was able to find the clip, and I'm prayerful that this is the clip to which you referred. The Catch, I believe you said it's called, right?
Mm-hmm.
From 1954. So I'm going to play this. So, Chris, I'm waiting for you to talk us through it. Okay, here it is. Here it is.
There's a long drive.
There it is. And it had the presence of mind. Watch that play again. To put the ball back into the infield.
Which must have been an optical illusion to a lot of people. Willie Mays gave this crowd of 52,751 an unforgettable sight.
And that ball,
Pounds the next pitch over Willie Mays' head. But there goes Willie.
There goes
And he makes a miraculous catch as he stops a step short of the wall.
Wait, because we can hear you clearly, and I want to hear everything you're saying. We're taking all of that in. I want to hear you. I want to hear all of what you're saying, but I wanted to share that and just soak in the essence of that too. But what were you saying, Chris?
A couple of things. One, May said himself about the catch that that he had the ball. And one of the little things that Mays did when he knew he had that ball, and what you saw him in that clip, kind of pat his glove. I said, I got the baseball glove over there, and so he kind of would pat his glove, because that's when you knew he had it. And then sometimes he would wear his baseball, come out his baseball cap would go flying off, but he caught the ball, and he immediately, because sometimes people can't make the catch and they take their time, but they were men on base, so he had to get the ball back to the infield to make sure that nobody, would score or advance bases and all that. And that killed her. And that was one of those plays the Indians didn't. And the Indians really were the Cleveland. I use the term Indians, but Cleveland was really favored in that World Series because they had 4 20-game winners, 4 pitchers who won 20 games over the course of the season, and that wasn't duplicated until the Orioles did it in 1971. And ironically enough, both of those teams lost the World Series. So I don't know, go figure that. But Mays made that catch and got to it, and not everybody can make an over the head catch. Everybody can make those game saving catches at the wall, because Mays had speed. And see, a lot of people, I had a chance, like I said, I talked to David Halberstam and I talked to Buck O'Neill, and they said what those guys brought was the speed game. Those guys were fast. Jackie Robinson was fast. He could steal home. I mean, guys like Larry Doby and guys like Willie Mays could run and all that, and those guys played the game with what I call a ferocity. They just played hard. Frank Robinson played the game in that way. And I saw even white guys like Pete Rose. Like I said earlier, learned from Vada Pinson and Frank Robinson when they were in Cincinnati. So they understood, and the black players were so eager to prove themselves that after the integration of baseball between, I want to say between 1949 and 1962 in the National League, 11 African American players won the MVP award. I mean, that was, yeah. I mean,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that was the time of guys like Ernie Banks, Frank Robinson, and all those guys who were just great players. And they played with a chip on their shoulder because they had been denied for so long. And those players were saying, "Look, and even like I said, like I said earlier, Willie Mays said playing for the minor leagues was like a come down because he get some of the greatest players in the Negro leagues."
Chris, I want to interrupt you for one moment because I want to get this conversation. And we were talking so much about Gervonta Davis. And I'm so sorry. I just wanted to interject because I know we are pressed for time.
Yeah, I got you.
But I also want to get your input about the fight.
Oh, that was a heck of, Gervonta Davis. Now, because I like the classic boxer like Ali, Sugar Ray Leonard, to a certain extent, Tommy Hearns, good left jab, good speed, and all that. And this guy, Frank Martin, tried to get on his bicycle, but it was like, it kind of turned into like, Joe Louis versus Billy Conn. You can run, but you cannot hide. And Tank gave him first Tank in the eighth round. Tank started off slow, but in the 6th and 7th rounds, you saw that this is going to eventually. So, and the guy kept going into the corner, into the ropes. You can't let Tank crap you on the ropes. He's gonna kill you. And he did so. So he caught Frank Martin with a left uppercut and an overhand left over. He was like, the guy was out. I think he may have gotten up by 10, but the ref looked at him and said, "Nah, bro, you need an ice pack on your head." You need an ice pack because Gervonta Davis is right now the to me the best pound for pound fighter, Canelo Alvarez notwithstanding, in the sport right now, and he's drawing people. Like I said, a couple of years ago, me and a friend of mine who I have on my show, my friend Ronnie Duncan, we were in Brooklyn when he fought this kid named Rolly Romero, who he knocked out in the 6th round. That going to that fight was like going to Black Homecoming. It was so many blacks and Latinos there. I mean, it was just and people loved it. I mean, this is where I think boxing shoots itself in the foot because you got this kid, he's a Baltimore kid, came from a rough neighborhood in near in Northwest Baltimore. And he, like I said, if you messed around in his neighborhood, you're walking out. You better be walking or running at a fast pace. But the thing about it, he is just, that guy is a machine. He's underrated as a boxer, and I thought his strategy was brilliant. He said he let the guy kind of come in. He got some shots in, didn't hurt him, but then after a while, Tank kind of downloaded him. Figured him out, and then like the end, like I said, 8th round, like I said, left uppercut, bam, then overhand right. It was all over.
And that was it. It was all over. It was. I could not wait to have that conversation with you because we had talked so much about the fight, prior to it happening. So thank you for downloading. Thank you for that download, Chris. I always love it when you come to visit with us. I do. I love our recaps that you share with us, and just your overall personality. Thank you as always.
Well, Carol, always thank you for having me on because I have fun doing the show. I really do. Maybe because it's in the middle of the week and I don't know. Maybe because I'm being myself in the middle of the week. Although I'm myself on my show too. Don't get that twisted. But I just love doing this show and whatnot. I mean, I can talk about other issues of the sports. I know we talked one time about and all that. And not that I'm an expert, I'm just one witness. That's how I look at it. I mean, plus the fact, like I said, although every time I see the Billy D, when he says, life is nothing. I keep thinking Colt 45 because I remember one time.
Oh, he was advertising that, right? He was in advertising. Yes.
Yeah. He said, "Don't let the smooth taste
There's
fool
food. That's
you."
right.
And he would come in. He would open up a can. All these beautiful women would come out from the woodwork. I tried that. I waited for about an hour.
You know what? Goodbye. Chris. You know what I mean? Family, oh heavens to Murgatroyd. Chris, have a great night. Happy belated birthday. Give my love to the missus as always. Until next week, God willing. Until next week, family. Oh my Lord, just praising God from whom all blessings flow. Once again, Dr. Z sends her love because she couldn't be here with us tonight. But family, I'm asking that you continue to pray as we all need it. You know, I'm going to ask you that every day. I thank you to our guest Stephanie Renee in the first hour, and to Chris, our family member Chris Murray in this hour. Thank you to our callers as well. Thank you, family, for sharing your time, your energy, your attention, your space, your spirit, and just your love. It's so appreciated. Special thanks to the entire Word family, especially Nick and Niall, for all that you do. Happy birthday once again to all of our love lights. Family, remember, we are all in this together. So be good to you, but be good to those around you. Just be careful, but be kind, okay? God loves you, and so do I. I absolutely do. Have a great rest of your night, a great weekend, and be sure to join me Monday through Thursday, 7 till 9 p.m. Eastern Time, for another edition of Love and Life with CarolRiddick, right here on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media. Have a good night, y'all.